If you're booking Carnival Magic Phuket tickets, adding the transfer option might seem convenient, but there's a hidden cost that most tourists completely miss. Let me show you why this could be the worst deal on the entire booking page. When you're looking at tickets for Carnival Magic, you'll see options that include something called join-in transfer or shared transfer. It's basically transportation from your hotel to the park and back. Sounds convenient, right? You don't have to figure out how to get there. You don't have to deal with taxi drivers. Everything is arranged for you. But when I looked at the actual cost and compared it to other transport options in Phuket, I realized this might be one of the biggest tourist traps in the booking process. Let me break down both transfer ticket options and show you exactly what you're paying for. Here's the problem with these transfer packages. When you see the price increase from adding the transfer, it looks reasonable. You're thinking, okay, I'm paying a bit extra for convenience and saving myself the hassle of arranging transport separately. Most tourists just add it to their booking without doing the math or considering alternatives. But transportation in Phuket is actually really affordable. Grab rides exist, taxis are available, and even private transfers are cheaper than you'd think. So when you add this transfer to your ticket, you might be paying way more than necessary just because it feels easier to book everything together. So, the other issue is the pickup logistics. This is a shared transfer, which means, well, you're not the only person being picked up. The van has to go to multiple hotels, collect different groups of tourists, and then drive to the park. That takes time. You might be sitting in a van for like an hour when the actual drive to Carnival Magic from your hotel might only be 20 or 30 minutes. And nobody tells you this when you're booking. Let me break down both transfer ticket options, starting with the standard version. The admission ticket plus join-in transfer is priced at $65.79 reduced from $76.49 with a 35% discount. Compare that to the standard admission ticket at $54.99, and you're paying an extra $10.80 for the transfer. So, what's included? Basically, you get everything from the regular admission ticket. That means access to all the attractions, the River Carnival Parade, and the Kingdom of Lights. Plus, you also get round-trip transfers, which is super convenient. They actually pick you up right from your hotel in Phuket, take you to Carnival Magic, and then bring you back to your hotel after the show ends. The booking benefits are honestly the same. You get instant confirmation, you can book for today if you want, your ticket is valid on the selected date, and you have free cancellation up to 24 hours before. But, here's something important to know. Children under 99 centimeters tall get free admission to the park, but they still charge 450 Thai baht per child for the transfer. That's about $13. So, even though your kid gets into the park for free, you're still paying for their seat in the van. Now, let's look at the upgraded version. The admission ticket with Royal Seat Upgrade plus join-in transfer costs $76.49. So, you're paying about $10.70 more than the standard transfer package to add the Royal Seats. So, what's different? Well, you get everything I just mentioned, plus the Royal Seat Upgrade for the parade. That means premium seating instead of general admission, plus the round-trip transfer. And it's the same deal with kids. Free park admission, but 450 baht for the transfer. Now here's where you need to think about whether this makes sense. The transfer adds $10.80 to your ticket cost. Let me put that in perspective. A grab ride from most hotel areas in Phuket to Carnival Magic costs between 200 to 400 Thai baht one way, depending on where you're staying. That's roughly $6 to $12. Round trip would be $12 to $24 if you take Grab both ways. So if you're staying in a closer area like Kamala or Patong, the join-in transfer might actually cost you about the same or even slightly more than taking Grab. But here's the difference. With Grab, you leave when you want. You're not waiting for other people. You're not making stops at multiple hotels. You get in the car and go directly to the park. With the shared transfer, you need to be in your hotel lobby 15 minutes before the scheduled pickup time. And they might come early or late. The listing says early or late pickup is possible. Then the van picks up other tourists from different hotels. Depending on how many stops they make, this could add 30 to 45 minutes to your journey. And the same thing happens on the way back. The park closes at 11:30 p.m., which means you're getting back to your hotel close to midnight or even later by the time everyone gets dropped off. Here's another thing. The listing says the operator will reconfirm your pickup time in advance, and you need to enter your hotel name and address at checkout. But what if you're staying at a small guest house that's not on their route? The coverage says hotel in Phuket, but that's, pretty vague. Some areas might not be covered, and honestly, you won't know until after you've booked. Also, the same price applies to all ages for the transfer. So whether you're one person or traveling with your partner, each person pays the extra $10.80 for transport. If you're a couple, that's $21.60 for round-trip transport. A private taxi or Grab for both of you would probably cost less than that, especially if you're staying relatively close to the park. Let me tell you who should and shouldn't get these transfer packages. So if you're staying in Kamala, Patong, or anywhere that's relatively close to Carnival Magic, honestly, don't bother with the transfer. Just take Grab or book a private taxi. It's usually faster, way more convenient, and probably even cheaper. Plus, you get to control your own timing, and you won't be stuck relying on a shared van schedule. Also, don't get the transfer if you really value your time. The shared pickup system means you'll end up wasting time just sitting in a van while other people are getting collected. If you're on vacation and every minute counts, spending an extra 30 to 45 minutes in transit each way just isn't worth saving a few dollars. But do consider the transfer if you're staying far from the park, like in Phuket town or maybe on the other side of the island, and you're just not comfortable using ride-hailing apps. In that situation, the convenience could totally be worth it, since a private taxi would cost more, and you won't have to worry about negotiating with drivers or figuring out directions. So, do get the transfer if you're traveling solo and you just don't want to deal with any logistics. Some people, just want everything pre-arranged, and they're totally willing to pay extra for that peace of mind. If that's you, and the $10.80 doesn't really matter to your budget, then go ahead and add it. But honestly, for most people, I think the transfer is unnecessary. Phuket actually has good transport infrastructure for tourists. Grab works well, taxis are everywhere, and even your hotel can probably arrange a private driver for a reasonable price. You'll save time, have more flexibility, and likely spend about the same amount or even less. The Royal Seat upgrade with transfer at $76.49 is interesting, because you're getting both the premium seating and the transport. If you were already planning to get the Royal Seats, and you want the transfer convenience, this bundles everything together. But again, I'd still recommend getting the Royal Seat ticket separately and arranging your own transport. So here's my honest take. The transfer packages are not terrible, but they're not great value either. You're paying $10.80 per person for shared transport that takes longer than a direct ride and requires you to stick to their schedule. For that same money or less, you could take Grab or a taxi and have a much better experience. The only time these transfer packages make sense is if you're staying very far from the park, you're uncomfortable with technology and ride-hailing apps, and you want zero hassle. But if you're a normal tourist who can use a smartphone and doesn't mind booking a Grab, skip the transfer and save yourself time and probably money too. The worst part is paying 450 baht per child for the transfer when kids get free park admission. That's an extra cost that parents often don't notice until after booking. Simply click the link in the description and secure your spot today. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on this unforgettable adventure, especially when you can save money and still have an amazing time. The information shared in this video is for general guidance only. For the latest and most accurate details, please check the links provided in the description. Prices and availability mentioned in this video may change depending on the season and other factors. Always double-check all information before making any bookings. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a like and share it with your friends and family. Your support helps us create more valuable content. Also, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on our latest uploads. And as always, we'd love to hear from you. Feel free to leave your questions, thoughts, or suggestions in the comments below.